Okay, so I'm thinking about to, help me or whatever, right? So, he's like, I'll be right back. So he goes to the car and he come back, asks me my name, and I'm guessing he's seeing, I guess if I'm in the system or whatever the case may be. Okay. So then he asked me, have I ever stayed in the shelter? And I'm like, yeah, a while ago. So he's like, all right, I'll be right back. So he walks away again. So this time make a phone call. Well, prior to him making a phone, it was either or a phone call or he came back. Then he's like, they have a hot team. Let me see if I can get you in the hot team. Okay, a single mother with two children out here. Okay, so meanwhile, he's asking me my name, and I'm guessing trying to see if he can get us into the shelter. So he was like, are you from here? And I'm like, no, I'm from out of state. And he's like, okay. So he relayed a message to whoever he's talking to on the radio. So he was like, I was like, I've been helped before through the lieutenant, And he was like, okay, what happened? I said, well, he told me about the rapid team, but I said I didn't really get no help. I just, they reached out to the other shelter I was trying to get into in Sarasota, which is the next county. And we just been playing phone tag, basically. They made the phone call, and then I didn't get to even speak to no one. I'm getting the voicemail, and we're constantly, talking back and forth on the voicemail. Or I'm leaving a message, and then I miss their call, and then they leave me a message. So I never actually spoke to no one from Sarasota, the next county over. But I'm gonna come back to that part. So anyway, then he walks away and he comes back and he's like, "Oh, well, I can't get you into the hot team, but I can get you 3 nights at the shelter." And I'm like, he was offering. First he told me 30 days, but that's under the hot team, and they don't take children under the hot team. I'm aware of that because I've been through that already. Me and my kids, we were stuck in another county, which is Sarasota, and they tried to call the hot team, and they would not come and get us because they don't take children. It's mainly for singles. So it's sad. It's very sad. So he's like, you can go and do the three days by you being in Manatee County. Go and take 3 days to the shelter by you being in Manatee County, and then come back out here. Well, where's the help? Where is the help? Right? You want me to go stay 3 days in the shelter? Y'all gonna cover 3 days. Mind you, I already told you I've been there already. So most likely it's gonna be one night. It's not gonna be 3 days because I already been there. Okay. Um, it's baffling. It really is baffling. So I mean, he did try to help. So meanwhile, it's another police car roll up. So it's two cars now, and I'm telling him about other organizations that's trying to help me, but you have to be a resident in the next county, which is Sarasota, for 90 days. I'm not a resident. I don't have a resident. So they could not help me because I'm not a resident of that county. But I go to the day shelter, which is in that county, and they were saying, oh, it's a day shelter. You can't use their address because it's a day shelter. So the police said, he was like, do they have a mailing system? And I was like, no, they no longer have a mailing system. I don't know what took place of the mailing system that's in Sarasota at this day shelter. So then he says, I mentioned him about the day shelter, because he was like, how do you guys shower? And I'm like, we go to the day shelter. It's, and I've mentioned the name on here, but he was like, oh, okay. Well, does she run it by herself? And I'm like, it's an organization. She have volunteers. I don't know what he was trying to fetch for, but it was crazy. So then he's like, well, do you want, he's like, I contacted him, but you have to be up at 5 in the morning. Right now, it's 2 o'clock. And you want to take me to a shelter that's going to we're going to come in, but we're going to have to leave the shelter at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, no, thank you. Thank you. Because by the time I get my kids up, we get over there, it's going to be time to leave their shelter. Okay? And he was like, well, you're going to get 3 nights. No, thank you. I said, I'm working on something else. I said, I know it looked, kind of, crazy, me and my kids being out here, but I said, I got someone, which I met yesterday. We're the next day. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, so we're on Thursday. So on Wednesday, I met a lady. What I didn't meet her, but she reintroduced herself to me. She volunteered at the Turning Point. So the police also mentioned Turning Points. It's like a day shelter, but it's an organization as well. So you can, it's like they call it one stop. So you can, you can apply for jobs, you can take a shower, you can get clothing, they feed you. It's like a one stop, so everything can take place there. And I was like, yeah. He asked me, have I heard of them? And I'm like, yeah, I heard of them. And so I had to let him know that the lady that volunteered there, she's offered to help us. And she's seen us at the other day shelter here. So she's like, you know what, I'm gonna try to help you. I didn't know you were actually, homeless. She's like, I see you, but I didn't know you was actually homeless. Because, we go and get snack bags from there. She mainly worked in the pantry, so she didn't really know our situation. She just would give us, a snack bag and food and stuff like that. But it was a nice gesture, of them coming by here. There's also a helicopter depot coming by here as well, but it was nice of them to stop by and see what my situation is and stuff like that. I know I look crazy, y'all, but it was raining and now it's stopped, but now it's a little chilly out here, so I put this beanie on my head. And then I gotta clear my throat. Hold on. I had to drink some of my lemonade to clear my throat. Because I had just woke up. I was asleep. He was like, I'm glad you're awake. I'm like, what? So it's more people that's out here. So I'm guessing he went to ask them. They had they bright lights on. Trying to blind somebody with them lights. But, yeah, so I'm not the only one out here. So he went to ask, I'm guessing, other people if they wanted to go to the shelter as well. Now, they're single, so they can get the hot bed. So he said the hot bed, they put you in that for 30 days, which I think is cool, but no thank you. But they don't do mother and children for the hot bed, so we wouldn't even qualify for the hot bed. But there's a lot of ants out here. I can't stand ants, so I gotta try to find something for these pesky old ants. But yeah, so I was like, I don't like how they treat people at that shelter. And you know what? Looking from his point of view, I do understand. He was like, I would go there, but you're not in my shoes, and you're not going to be the one that's being mistreated, because you're coming into a shelter. It's crazy how they treat people, that's in my situation. They treat you so badly, but then they want you to pay $15 a night to come into their organization. Like, and then you're not even helping me after I pay you that $15. I still got to get up out of there by 5 o'clock. So it's like, what? So no, I'm like, If I do have any funds, it will not go towards them. My kids, we are okay. And then they don't want you to really have anything, and then they don't want to give you anything. So it's like, I was there before and I had suitcases. I couldn't even bring my suitcases inside. I had to leave my stuff outside, for someone else to take. And I'm like, this is our life. This is all we have. We came from another state here. They didn't care. They didn't care that was all I had. And I understand they didn't want you, to have a whole lot of stuff coming into their facilities. But no, I mean, this is all I have. So, I mean, I respected the rules. You got to keep this. You can bring in, it said bring in what you, like what you're going to use. But everything else have to stay outside. And that's okay. But I want to make sure my stuff is safe, Nobody's not going to take my stuff because I left it sitting where you told me to put it in. You're assuming that it's going to be safe, right? People steal, and it's so sad. It's the homeless steal from the homeless, and it's like you're trying to make it like I am. You're trying to figure it out like I am. Why are you stealing, stuff? So yeah, I mean, he was trying to go do a good deed, but I'm like, no, thank you. 3 nights, and then what? He said you can come back over here. I'm looking at him like, did that really just come out your mouth? Really? So when I was over at the other location, plenty of lieutenants and police and sergeants and whatever they want to label themselves came over, offered to help us, but we didn't get the help. Now they only have one family shelter here in this city, and they can't even help you get into a program. Now their program is $300 a month, but you have to come in having a job, and you also have a curfew. You also have chores, even though you're working, have a day job. You can't be late coming in from the day job, like as in most people here got to use the bus system. So you can't be late, or that's a consequence. And I believe they give you three write-ups. Even if you work, you got to come in doing your chore, or depending on what time you have to go to work, because some was doing their chore before they went to work because they knew they were going to get back, kind of close to the curfew. And I'm like, wow, I'm paying you. This is what I'm thinking about, the people that's in the program. I'm paying you $300 to have a curfew and clean up after other people. Make that make sense? Are you going to help me get an apartment? Are you going to help me get into an apartment? The answer is no. You have to save your own money. They give you a period of time to save your money, and you have to pay for the place yourself. Now, they have different pantries you can go to get food. but they're not going to help you get into a place. You have to go to an outside organization and be approved to get help for a place. Now, make that make sense. Make that make sense. So I'm staying here in your shelter, in your program, and you're not helping me get out my situation? But I'm paying you $300 that I could be saving towards getting my place. Now, we all know rent is not cheap. They want you to make 2 times the rent. Now, you have some places, organizations that will pay for that, but you got to be approved. You have to work a certain amount of hours. You got to make a certain amount of money for them to approve you to get help. Now, the way the economy is now, you're not making that much money to be able to even save to get a place. You have to feed your children. Yeah, true enough, you have this shelter, but if you don't make it in time for dinner, your kids may not eat. So you may jeopardize being late trying to feed your children before you get to the shelter. Yeah. Now, they do have a community fridge that you can use. You can shop. But they don't have a way for you to cook. They have like a hot plate and it's a hot plate. So you a microwave and like a toaster oven. So again, I'm here paying you $300. I can't even cook for my children. If we miss dinner, that's wrong. That's wrong. And everybody is pushing for you to stay in this one shelter. Now, they just opened up another shelter for single women, and they just now closed the shelter for single women. So the one that the family, the one I'm talking about, it was family slash singles slash men. So the men have a whole side, and the singles and the mother and children are sharing one side. But the men have a whole side to themselves. A lot of them have their own space. But it's also a program on their side as well, which you don't have to have a job coming into their program because their program was there first. Make it make sense here. Really? So mother and children have to have a job to be in the program. But men can be there for 30 days on their side, and then they have to find employment. What is going on here? Why are they being catered to? Why a mother and her children cannot get that help? Then you have organizations that will help you pay for your movie and first month and whatever the fees are. But you have to have an income, either a set income or be working. I mean, a lot of us is coming here from another state. We truly understand it's not their fault that we chose to come to another state to start over. But for you to have one shelter in your city, that's crazy to me. Then you go over to the next city, they have several shelters, several organizations, but you have to be a resident to get their help. Now, the yeah, girl, I'm up. So I'm trying to understand it. I'm like, make it make sense here. So the other one I was trying to get into, and that's when I told you the police had contacted that one. That's the one I'm talking about. That's only one shelter as well. There's not really nothing here. And I'm trying to give it a chance, Being here in Florida, I was told to go to Tampa or like Orlando, Lakeland, like other cities that's here in Florida. But once you get out there, you have to have referral to get into their shelters. And I'm like, wow. So how long is this process going to take once you give me the referral? Am I going to be able to get into a shelter as soon as I touch down? Right? Can I get the referral prior to me getting there? Or do I have to be there already and then contact the 211 to get a referral? Like, they're not answering them questions. They're just saying you need a referral to get in all their shelters in the other cities, like Saint Saint Pete, like Saint Pete. You have to have a referral to get into their shelters. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of other help that they will help you, but you got to go to another city, huh? Okay. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Well, it's kind of early. It's like one. Let's go to 2 o'clock. So, I'll be out with Okay, y'all. So it is like one. Well, it's 2 o'clock now, but it was like 1:20, and I just went to go use the bathroom, and the police had rolled up. So the police was like, "I've seen you out here a few times. Um, why you not at the shelter, or have you stay at the shelter?" And I was like, "Yeah, I said stay at the shelter. They charge $15 a night, and I don't like how they treat people there." So then he goes to say, "Let me make a phone call." So meanwhile, while he's making a phone call, another police roll up. Okay, I don't think they about to, help me or try to assist me or whatever the case may be.